Thus far, the Lord has taken us. Indeed, we are on a journey. And this journey began when we were one ones. Now we are two ones, or for some students, particularly in data analytics, they may be two, I'm not too sure. Welcome to you, you're very welcome. Let me hasten to say this is your final stage of your studies. The penultimate stages are sometimes the most important because we are here to ensure that we crystallize everything that we've learned in the past. We put it into the dissertation writing, and that we will be able to show that we have learned in this program. The dissertation workshop is meant for those students that have passed all modules in their previous semesters. If indeed there is anyone who has not completed any module in the previous semesters, they should not be attending, because indeed it's meant for those that have accomplished. And I'm sure the 121 of us that are in have all been able to clear our previous modules. Secondly, it's meant for students. Students are those candidates that have registered. If you have not registered, please, soon after this workshop, please rush and register. Let me go further to show you a few issues that we need to take note of in this workshop and on the journey that we have embarked on. We've already mentioned the fact that we've had previous semesters that hopefully we've all been able to clear the modules. But this one is the most important. It is the most important milestone of the studies in the program that you are doing. Like we've already said, it crystallizes all the concepts and makes it into an application form so that you're able to demonstrate that indeed you have gone through this program. That being the case, ladies and gentlemen, it also happens to be the most difficult, and most difficult in many ways. Little wonder some students have fallen by the wayside on this particular stage. It is mainly because it is self-directed. In the previous semesters, you would have assignments with deadlines, and the lecturer would be having their own input, and you would be required to submit at various stages, thereby keeping you at the same stage as a team. But this one is a bit different. It's a bit remote, though. It is self-directed, because you are virtually mainly on your own. You have to direct yourself. You have to push yourself. You have to cause yourself to learn and continue to be on track, because you are there and there alone. You are your own driver. This is why we need to be very careful on this stage. And the purpose of this workshop is to equip you for this journey that we've just begun. To empower you, to give you direction, to share with you expectations on this journey so that you don't fall by the wayside. There are guidelines that we've come up with, guidelines that we're going to share with you, guidelines that you have to follow and follow religiously, guidelines that will help you to make it. Please be warned that the dissertation stage is not an easy stage. There are many problems that you may encounter because it is self-directed. There are many booby traps that you may come across that you need to encounter. The journey begins today, and today is the 13th of July 2024. The journey begins today, so we begin to count today. And the journey is 6 months long. And when we say 6 months long, so you have to count from today. 6 months from today will be end of December, beginning of January. Little wonder if you look at the milestones, if you look at the timetable, if you look at the schedule that I'm going to show you towards the end, it shows you the deadline, the winning point, the time at which you need to have completed everything. And given that deadline of the 10th of January, we work backwards and put milestones along the way. That's what we're going to be doing. My advice to you is, since you're on this journey, the purpose of this journey is to solve problems. You are going to undertake a study, and that study must be geared towards solving a problem, a real practical problem, where you have to prove that in fact it is a problem. You don't need to hypothesize the problem. It must be a practical problem that exists in the community, a problem that you wish to solve using that study. Remember, everything else that you're going to do in the dissertation, in the journey, revolves around that problem, around solving that problem. So if you don't have a problem, you don't get anywhere. You need a problem because your topic will have to reflect the problem. Your objectives will need to be linked to the problem. Your literature review must be able to illuminate the problem. Your data analysis, data collection, and data analysis will need to be related to the problem. So everything in effect relates to the problem. You need to identify a real practical problem that you're going to try and solve. And everything else will fall into place. Little wonder we say that there's a thread running through your study. So my advice to you is, please start with a good statement of the problem. Secondly, manage your time. It's only 6 months. It may look like it's a lot of time at the moment, but very soon it will be past. And so start now to start today. Manage your time and manage it well. Start working today. Start immediately. Do not wait until tomorrow to do what you could do today. Please work with your supervisor. We're going to allocate you supervisors. The purpose of the supervisor is to assist you. The supervisor is not going to be doing the work for you. Will be guiding you, assisting you where you need help, and reminding you of the various milestones and deadlines that you have to meet. Work with your supervisors. We cannot tolerate a student who submits a document that has not been supervised, that has not been approved, that has not been signed, that has not been authenticated by the supervisor. The reason is we need the supervisor to help you. Please do exactly that. Work with your supervisor. We're also going to be giving you guidelines, dissertation guidelines. These are meant for you. They are meant to assist you. Please follow them. Do not use guidelines for last semester. Even if they are for University of Technology, use the guidelines that we're giving you today. Do not use guidelines that emanate from NAST or UZ or Africa University. They are doing it right. We are also doing it right. We need you to follow our house style. We are giving you this dissertation so that they help you. Once again, do not follow guidelines that come from elsewhere. Only follow religiously those guidelines that we are going to give you today. And once you have come up with your concept note, once you have an idea of what you are going to do, once you create your proposal, we are going to have a dissertation proposal workshop. Sorry for that date. The proposal workshop is there on the end of August. I'm going to show you the date. That's when you are going to present your proposal and present it just for about 15 minutes. Please address challenges. This is a journey, and on this journey, like we've already said, you're going to have many challenges, booby traps. You need to be able to overcome those challenges. But should you have any of these challenges that you cannot overcome, please do communicate. These challenges may be relating to your health, nothing of your making. It may be relating to your job. Perhaps challenges relating to your supervisor, but we don't anticipate that because we have workshops for supervisors too. This being the case, if you meet any such challenges, do communicate to your supervisor, do communicate to Mr. Chitimbe, do communicate to the graduate business school, do communicate to your coordinators for the various programs, do communicate to various chairpersons that relate to you. Please do communicate. Because if you don't communicate, we may never get to know that you are facing that problem. When you communicate, we assess the challenges and together we map a way forward. And it may be necessary pair studies. Don't just disappear. Defer studies if necessary. And we work together to help you defer studies if necessary. We have already said in the beginning, this workshop is for those that have completed all taught modules, but it's also for those that are registered. Please remember to register. Be a registered student. We are going to be allocating supervisors, but we only allocate supervisors to registered students. So ensure that you are a registered student. We are on a journey. The journey begins today, like we've already said. Today, the 13th of July, 2024. After this, you begin to create a concept note. Concept note has guidelines. And we're going to give you the guidelines. The guidelines are there. You follow those guidelines, those stipulations in the guidelines, and you create a concept note. We are hoping that your concept note will be discussed with the supervisor. The main purpose of the concept note is to ensure that you are choosing an area that is researchable, an area in which you are solving a problem, an area that is practical, an area that you can do within the 6 months. The various subsections of the concept note will be given to you. But we're hoping that you'll be through with that by the 30th of July. And by the 30th of July, you then begin to work on your research proposal. The research proposal is basically an amplification of the research of the concept note. You work that with your supervisor, and it must be approved, ready for presentation by the 19th of August. Because on the 20th of August, 24th of August, we have a proposal defense session where all of you are going to be presenting their proposals, not just a concept note. We want a proposal. And the guidelines, the subsections for the proposal are also going to be given in the document that we are giving you today. Depends on which day and to which panel. 20 August to 24 August. Once you have that, you are going to get comments from the panels. The panelists will give you the comments on how to improve that proposal. The proposal is very important because it captures much of what you need to do in the study, in the dissertation. Much of chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3 will be there. What will be left is to amplify those. So once you present your proposal and you get comments from the panelists, you need to adjust your proposal in tune with the comments that have been given, and that must be done by the end of August, 30 August. After which, you seriously begin working on your literature review. We know you have already done some literature review in your proposal, but this time you are making details of the literature review, and your literature review must follow the guidelines as given. Remember, this is a master's thesis, and your Chapter 2, which is the literary review, must not be below 30 pages. So you create a good literature review. And we give you a whole month to do your literature review. So by the 4th of October, the 4th of October is not the day of submission. It is the deadline for submission. So you can do it much earlier. You need to do it much earlier. If by the 4th of October you have not finished your Chapter 2, something is wrong. Red flag on you. You need to communicate why you have not completed your literature review by the 4th of October. And once you have done your literature review and done it well, you move on to research methodology. Again, guidelines for research methodology are going to be discussed in this workshop. I think Prof. Svile is going to take us on all these. Your research methodology is shorter than the literature review, and some of it has already been done in the proposal and some of it during the literature review. And we give you another 2 weeks or so to complete your research methodology. Once you have completed your research methodology, it means that you all also now have your instruments for data collection. So you begin collecting data. And data collection is very important, because if you collect the wrong data, you cannot analyze it properly to get the correct answers. Data collection must be through by the 1st of November. Once you have finished your data collection, you go straight into analysis of that data, presentation and analysis, so results and discussion, which we're hoping that it will take you another 2 weeks to go through and finish. So by the 15th of November, you have done your data collection, data analysis. So in essence, you have finished Chapter 4. Having done that, what is left is now to synthesize the findings from there and be able to create a summary of the findings, conclusions, and the recommendations, which we are hoping will be done by the 6th of December 2024. You've finished your Chapter 5. So your document is almost complete. But then you need to work on your document. You need to put the preliminaries, such things as acknowledgement, such things as the abstract, such things as the approval, such things as you find in your dissertation guidelines. So we want you to work on that, so that by the 20th of December, you have completed everything. Your document is ready. Okay? However, we are giving you slightly more time to work with your supervisors in order for you to be able to do the final touches in terms of similarity index checking and the plagiarism check, in order for you to submit. So between the 10th of December and between the 20th of December and the 10th of January, we are expecting that you are doing that, and you have submitted. The 10th of January is the latest date by which your dissertation must have been submitted. We are not saying submit on the 10th. You can submit in end of December. No problems with that. But no one should ever say that they have not submitted by the 10th of January. You will be caught offside. This is the schedule. These are the timelines. These are the milestones that we are hoping that we will take. And from today, it gives you exactly 6 months in which we are working together on this journey. It depends on you. You have to drive yourself. You have to ensure that you meet these deadlines. Your supervisors will be assisting you. And please meet those deadlines. I'm hoping that that schedule is clear and that we're going to be able to follow it and follow it as it is. If there are any questions, please do ask. But otherwise, I want to thank you very much. I want to wish you a safe journey from the 13th of July to the 10th of December 2025. God bless you. Are there any questions before I give on to the platform to Prof. Philip?
Morning, sir. I have a question.
Yes, please.
All right. I wanted to ask on the format of the concept notes. Are we going to get these from the supervisors?
No, you get them from the administrator. We're giving you the guidelines today.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. The supervisors will not change the format. The format is already given, and Prof. Phile today is also working on those issues. You will highlight some of those issues, including the margins, the line spacing. You will touch on some of those issues, but the guidelines are given. Okay. Anything else? Otherwise, thank you very much. Kudzai.
Morning, sir. How are you?
Bye.
Good afternoon.
I just wanted to ask on maybe there are other students who are willing to do a topic that is maybe a focus on a particular organization. What kind of clearance do we get from the school so that we take it to the particular organization that we are targeting to research on?
Thank you very much. Two things come into my mind. This is masters. At undergraduate, we expect you to zoom onto an organization. Okay? At masters, we expect you to deal with a sector, industry, bigger problems that emanate and affect lots of sectors or industries or people or organizations. So unless it is a case study, we don't expect you to focus on your church. We don't expect you to focus on your particular manufacturing organization. We expect you to look at the industry. This is masters. We are not solving a problem of your particular home. We are solving the problem of the communities. I hope I make myself clear there. Okay? You get guidelines from your supervisor.
Good morning, Professor. I just have a question.
Yes.
My question is, after the final submission, is there going to be a defense of the
Yes, a viva voce. Expect it, please. Please do expect it. It will depend on what circumstances do prevail. In the past, there are cases where we've had these live presentations by students at the end. There are some cases where we've selected a few, particularly those that are very high, very low, and those some in the middle, so as to sample to see whether these dissertations are really yours. Once we suspect that this dissertation is not emanating from you, we call you for viva. Okay, so be ready. All of you, be ready. We may decide everyone is presenting their final, but it is only after marking has been done.